Alright, welcome back. I'm going to wait for someone to say, hey, I made a live stream. I know some of you, a bunch of you missed it last night. I'm back. Don't be shy and say hello. Figure we'll do some weekly news. Yeah, we'll do some weekly news for this live stream instead of me doing it or recording it tomorrow or the next day. So wait and see until someone jumps on and we'll get started. I hope everyone is doing well. Let's go ahead and transition here. Music is by the YouTube, courtesy of the YouTube Audio Library. Artist is Silent Partner. It is free. MC Strap is in the house. How are you? Sound check, test, test. Can you hear me, MC? How's the music? Too loud, too soft? Mark Kennedy, how are you? Yes, you did make another live stream. Welcome. I know we had several people last night at the last minute say, darn, missed it. So, I was at my neighbor's house just chilling. Just got back and nothing on TV as usual. So I'll create my own TV. Yeah. How's everybody doing? Chuck Harrington, how are you? I'm doing good, Chuck. Thank you. Weekly news for tonight. And whatever topics you would like to discuss, tech news or whatever. Audio is good, it's all good, thank you. How's the music? Is it okay? This is Silent Partner. It's called Above and Beyond. Above and Beyond. So, this stuff I picked up from the YouTube Audio Library. Copyright free music, so check it out. There's so much stuff on there. I mean, different moods, different genres, different types. It's amazing the amount of music on that website, on the YouTube Audio Library. There's also other websites to check out music, but that's where I usually get my stuff. So we'll wait a few more minutes, and then we'll go straight into some news of the week. Just random technology news, instead of me recording this tomorrow night. The music is good. Excellent. Thank you. Yeah, if you guys get tired of hearing it, just let me know. I'll just, I will shut it off. Some of you, or someone had mentioned about the net neutrality stuff in the W3C, what's going on. I would check out Brian Lunduke's report on that. Who needs TV? Mark, that is true. Today I was watching, what was I watching? A repeat of The Godfather, part 1, and saw some part of part 2, but the sun came out and I left the house, went out to dinner, went out to the Roadhouse Grill. Excellent food, by the way. But yeah, usually you are correct, Mark. Who needs TV? Anyway. I usually watch it to catch up on Ancient Aliens, History Channel, The Blacklist, and yeah, shows like that. That's pretty much it. Unless something catches my eye on demand or National Geographic, stuff like that. You know, Nova, PBS, yeah, something that, you know, that's worth watching. Either for the best types of shows. Movies are what I call didactic. They serve a twofold purpose. Didactic meaning something that is, of course, entertaining, and also something that has some kind of social value, information, either real life or something, a reflection about ourselves, about culture, and the movie The Godfather is a good example of that. You haven't had a TV set for 10 years, Mark? Holy cannoli. Wow. Okay. What do you watch? Well, you watch Total OS Today, Mark. Thank you. MC Toss, I don't know why, but I somehow found myself installing Windows 10. MC, hang on. I'm going to send you the phone number of my psychiatrist. I don't know what's going on, but you really need to stop. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Well, I hope it works out for you, man. Absolutely. I mean, Windows 10 works. It works for me. I have it on multiple machines. I dual boot. I think last night I was recording this or running this in Windows 10, so why not? Sure. Use what works, of course. Okay, anyway. Pop out the chat. Alright, we'll do that. And let's go straight into some news. There's so much to watch online, Mark. Yeah, I would have to agree. Even though I create content, I also like to watch content. It's more, I think because it's on demand, it's immediate. I can choose immediately whether to watch it or move on. It's obviously going to grow in popularity. That's why I think live streams are the way to go for YouTube and other platforms. It's a way for people to connect. It isn't just, hey, I'm going to catch one of my favorite YouTubers. It's just a way to connect, to say something, to share something, information, share a laugh, feel connected to the world, and to prove that someone cares or values what you have to say. And I suppose that's human nature, Mark. So, yeah, I mean, there is some good stuff on TV. But I think a lot of it is online. Totally agree as far as that goes. Okay. Let's go to some news. Any gamers out there? Well, let's see, this is going to be Xbox One and PlayStation 4. I do believe Mass Effect Andromeda, there is a free trial, the 10-hour Mass Effect Andromeda free trial. I remember the first one I played with my son way back. I thought it was pretty good. I really enjoyed Mass Effect. Great story. Lots of action, lots of story, rather. Lots of action, too. But if you guys are into games and you have an Xbox One or a console such as the PlayStation 4, check out check out Mass Effect Andromeda. I believe this is number 4. Beginning now and running through November 1st, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC owners can download Mass Effect. Very good. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Just like that. Because I can still hear it. King of the Hill you watch, MC. Okay, cool. Okay, so Mass Effect. So check that out if you are in... Oh, wait a minute. Mass Effect Andromeda underperformed critically. Well, if it's free to try, I guess you got nothing to lose, right? Okay, let's move on to the next story. Scrap dealer finds Apollo-era NASA computers. This is pretty cool. A scrap dealer finds Apollo-era NASA computers in dead engineer's basement, plus hundreds of mystery tapes from Pioneer and Helios probe missions. Somebody say UFO? Yeah. I wonder what's on those secret tapes. The tapes are unmarked. That's interesting. Early 70s, IBM engineer working for NASA at the height. Space race took home the computers and the mysterious tape reels. NASA property. Wow. It's very interesting. Please tell NASA these items were not stolen. It says here lots of blinky red lights. This looks like part of the panel for the original Star Trek series, right? Yeah, I I want to see what's on those tapes too. A whole new meaning to barn find. Absolutely. I mean, let's show proof that we are not alone in the universe. You never know. This is so cool. Looks like a lot from the Pioneer missions. The Helios probe, not familiar with that. This is dated, barely see it, 1962. June and July 1962. Cool. Wonder what that is worth on eBay. But these are massive computers with the old tapes. Check it out. Cool stuff. Joe Panico is in the house from Florida. Joe, I used to live in Orlando. Where do you live again in Florida? Which part, if I may ask? Without being too nibby. I used to live in Winter Park, Orlando, Winter Park. Control Data 163 magnetic tape system from the 60s from NASA. This is so cool. Apollo era NASA computer discovered in Pittsburgh. Oh, just across the river from me. Hope they get donated for all to enjoy. Well, I don't know. I don't know if these have any kind of monetary value. I think they should be put in some kind of a museum. Probably. I think that's what I would do. Oh, you're visiting Florida. Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, I lived in Orlando. I enjoyed traveling north south, usually on the Gulf side, Joe. Sanibel Island was gorgeous. St. Petersburg, South Beach was nice. Never made it to the Keys. Hi Ben, welcome. You'll be 26 as of 1:09 a.m. tonight. Happy birthday, Ben. Everybody, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday there, Ben. Happy birthday to you, and many more. Anyway, William is in the house. Welcome to the live stream. So yeah, we're just doing some news of the week instead of me recording it tomorrow. Sarasota. Yes, Sarasota is north of Sanibel. I do believe, Joe, and I believe, let me think, Siesta Key is around there, if I am not mistaken. So, anyway, yeah. Apollo era find in a basement in Pittsburgh. This is so cool. That is definitely a dated computer. Okay, let's move on to the next one. SoundCloud. I actually have a SoundCloud account. That's why I upload some of the news and nonsense reports with my friend Stephanie Foran. Check it out. And looks like they may not survive. Oh, SoundCloud says it's not going away. I'm glad to hear that because I can't lose SoundCloud ever. I like SoundCloud. I have it on my Android phone. It's very user-friendly. Easy to use. I hope they stay around, but it looks like they laid off some employees. Tough decisions. Blah, blah, blah. And let's see. SoundCloud has been one of the go-to places for music for years. Spotify account. Spotify is okay. And this company had a value of $700 million in 2014. That's interesting. Anyway, if you haven't already, check out SoundCloud. I am on there. You can search user today TOS. And it's not really Linux or Windowsy stuff. It's just random funny news with me and Stephanie, you know, like what I used to do with Spatry years ago. So let's see. Ben, you're using Arch. Okay. Enjoy the punishment. Ha ha. News story today was they weren't going anywhere. Okay. One time I tested SoundCloud to see how fast they detect copyrighted tracks. They are fast. Oh, okay. Well, my stuff is out there for everybody to enjoy. And you could even download those tracks for free. I believe I have download set turned on for SoundCloud. So yeah. I'm on that Fruit iPad, missing my Linux machine. iPads are okay. I mean, I have my what do I have? An iPad Mini 2, Joe. I mean, it works. I mean, I'll give Apple credit. It's been reliable. I have no problem having a Fruit iPad. Well, I'd rather eat a cherry fruit than eat an iPad. But anyway, yeah, iPads work. Not a problem. I use it to, check my emails and stuff occasionally. Stuff like that, stream music, so it's perfectly fine. Even though there is no way I can connect my iPad to my Linux machine, it's kind of pointless to even try. But iPads are okay, Joe, if you insist. Use your iPad. Alright, next story. This is disgusting. A Pacific island is covered in 38 million pieces of trash, mostly plastic. Ugh. Hundreds of purple hermit crabs now make their homes in plastic containers. That is an ugly island. Henderson Island. I'm not familiar with it. Let me read this real quick. If you wonder where your plastic toothbrushes and cigarette lighters go after you trashed them, here's your answer. Many end up in the ocean. Not good, which means that they either sink to the bottom or wash up on beaches. Ugh. Like this remote, uninhabited island in the middle of the ocean. That is disgusting. Between New Zealand and Chile, very well. I don't know if you guys can see these photographs, but that is nasty. Well, it was probably a pristine island. Wow. The density of the debris was the highest recorded anywhere in the world. Well, apparently someone is dumping trash in the oceans, and you shouldn't do that. I wonder where the cruise ships toss their trash. And there's one of the crabs using a plastic container for a home. I guess that is one way to recycle. Yeah, M3C Strap, having a house on an island would be nice, but not with the trash. Oh boy. The quantity of plastic there is truly alarming. Yes, a research scientist. University of Tasmania. IG, Infinitely Galactic, I believe is from Tasmania. One of my former podcast partners, I believe, is from there. Well, I hope he doesn't see the trash. Yeah, Joe, that is really disgusting. I mean, look, what looked like a very nice... You can see the patches of sand here, briefly, and then this junk. I mean... 38 million pieces of trash in one spot? I mean, think about it. A couple thousand would be gross. Anyway, yeah, that's too bad. I guess it has to do with the currents. Oneo Atoll, Henderson Island, South Pacific. Henderson Island, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is particularly hit by the plastic pollution because it's located on the edge of the South Pacific Gyre, an ocean current that tends to pick up trash. Lovely. IG is posting stuff at random, guys. Yes, he just posted something last month. I believe he got married. He met a girl. He got married. Wish him all the best. Though he doesn't do as much. But he's got some sporadic stuff going on. Yeah, great friend of mine from Tasmania. I would love to do another podcast with him if we get our schedules to match. But yeah, check him out. Let's see here. So yeah, this trash is disgusting. Hi Jeremiah. Yes, humans sometimes are the worst. I totally agree. A pristine island. I'm assuming it was, and then this stuff here. Well, at least this crab found a home, but still, it's not good. There was a story here in Florida where about people not cleaning up their mess on some beaches. Really, Joe? Which beaches? When I lived there in the 90s, I didn't hear too much about that. Yeah. Okay. Speaking of podcasts, the latest Ubuntu podcast is out. Season 10, episode 19. That's a cool looking, inconclusive, squalid driving car. Whatever that is. That looks pretty slick, actually. It's on the ubuntupodcast.org website. Siesta Key. Okay, Joe. I know where that's at, but I'm sorry to hear that. It's a shame. What else is here? Discuss. Mark has been playing Tomb Raider. Fedora 26 released. And some other stuff. Yeah, I sometimes listen to the Ubuntu podcast. Check it out. This is from July 13th. ubuntupodcast.org. Another podcast I listen to sometimes. Mintcast. This is from June 26th. They record this every couple weeks. And the next live stream is tomorrow, 2 o'clock CDT, 1900 UTC. So check it out. 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. There's a link here, but just go to mintcast.org. Not really designed for beginners, but somewhat informational. Not near as bad what you just showed, but still bad enough for public crews to be called up. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Come on, humans. Keep the beaches clean. For beach's sake. Anyway, if you want to check out mintcast.org. Let's go a piece of car technology. Car technology gets a big upgrade thanks to the FCC. Federal regulators have approved a big swath of new airwaves for vehicle radar devices, opening the door to cheaper, more precise sensors that may accelerate the arrival of high-tech next-generation cars. Okay. I guess radar use is for collision avoidance, automatic lane keeping, and other purposes. But right now, vehicle radar is divided into a couple different chunks of the radio spectrum. On Thursday, the FCC voted to consolidate these chunks and added a little more, essentially giving extra bandwidth to vehicle radar. Let's see here. Radar is a key component not only in today's computer-assisted cars, but also in the fully self-driving cars of the future. Okay. Let's see here. Airwaves ranging from 76 gigahertz to 81 gigahertz. In addition to 4 extra gigahertz. Anyway, connecting cars. Maybe we should do one live event about connecting cars. That might be fun. Hello, Ryan. Welcome to the live stream. Weekly news. I'm glad you're here. Any news you want to share, Ryan? Any tech news, unusual tech news, or something that affects you? Please do. So that's really all I had for news for the week. Like I said, somebody had mentioned about the net neutrality thing. I would check out Brian Lunduke's live stream. He had a lot to say on it, maybe a little bit too much, but it was all good information. Somebody asked me last night what's going to happen. Too early to tell. I don't like what I see so far. It has to do with DRM and, digital rights management and all that, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, to be quite honest. Somebody did ask me about Komodo. Just installed this a few days ago. It has a nice interface. Summary, antivirus, mail gateway, more. Do we really need an antivirus in Linux? Maybe right now, probably not. But I guess it doesn't hurt to have one. This is one of the more nicer looking GUIs that I've seen in a while. And it's free. Okay, so I was going to save this for another night, but if you guys want to hear this now, I'll stay up for another hour or so. It's 11 p.m. local time. This was a gamers podcast I did back in April with a friend of mine, Trevor. He has all the gaming consoles. He's into gaming. We talked about Halo and the future of gaming and stuff like that. About 30 minutes long, something like that. If you guys want to hear some of it now, I'll play it now. If not, I'll save it for another day. Wonder if the tech community has any way to truly resist net neutrality. Don't know yet, Joe. I really don't know. Yeah. There is power in the masses. So, yeah. Don't know what's going to happen as far as that goes. But it seems to be a constant tug of war, between what's neutral and what's not neutral. I guess it's never going to end, but that's the way it is in our technology world, for better or for worse. But a good topic. Why resist net neutrality? You want me to play it? Okay. Alright, give me a second here. We can talk about this net neutrality maybe some other night if you guys have any thoughts about it. It's important. So yeah. Alright, give me a second here. Let me close out that. So yeah, let me play this. I think what I'll do is I'll keep track of your comments here. And if I have to comment on something, I'll just pause it and move along. So it's not, too stagnant or too boring. We had fun doing it. Like I said, my friend Trevor, he's into this stuff a lot more than I am. He has all the consoles, including the new Nintendo. I forget what it's called. I think he mentions it. But we talked about one of my favorite games, Halo, and what happened to Halo. So Joe and everybody, let me play it. Let me know if you guys can hear it. It's no video. It's just I just have it in MP3 format. Can you guys hear that? Hello and welcome back to another special podcast right here on the Total OS Today Technology. Yes, Nintendo Switch, I think, yeah. Spin Viking, welcome. Can you guys hear that podcast okay? That better?
Console. Okay, well maybe not. I'm just kidding. Trevor, how are you?
I'm doing good. That might actually be true.
Oh, really? Wow, cool.
I know my dad did have an Atari, so...
Okay, well there you go. See, I was close, and I swear, guys, I didn't even know that. That was just a joke I thought at the last minute. See? Okay. So we will talk about gaming tonight, and maybe talk...
I cranked it up. Is that any better?
Our favorite games, the future of gaming.
Cool.
PC versus consoles and stuff like that. So Trevor, thanks for this show tonight. Greatly appreciate it.
Oh, I'm glad to be on.
Great. Okay, so
All right,
before
cool.
we get started, I have a quick question for you. You know I'm a big Halo fan. So what do you think of Halo, and what do you think the future of Halo should be?
I mean, I'm a Halo fan too, so
Okay.
I've always been a Halo fan. I love the series. I mean, the series has had its ups and downs for
Right.
sure. I would say even we'll just go to the latest iteration, Halo 5.
Yeah.
I would say Halo 5 probably has the best multiplayer in the history of the series.
Yes.
A lot of people would argue for Halo 2, but I really thought Halo 5 did a really good of balancing all the weapons so you never feel underpowered when playing it. And it got back to Halo's core of going to the power weapons, finding them on the map, and a lot more strategy can go on in that.
Yeah, it seems like in Halo 4 the campaign was good, but the multiplayer but in Halo 5 it was the opposite.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
You remember for Halo 5 in the commercials there was this big build-up of this epic battle between Spartan Locke and the Master Chief, and it was like there's nothing there. Now the ending for Halo 5 I thought was somewhat appropriate, with Cortana going rogue and all that. But yeah, I think Halo's great. As far as the storyline, though, where do you think that the story should go, or does it really matter?
I don't really know, to be honest. I haven't really given it too much thought. I think maybe that's because the Halo 5 campaign was pretty lackluster.
Yeah.
I mean, they built us up with this big battle between Locke and the Master Chief, and then really they end up on the same side, and they realize that, and it's like, okay, we're friends now. So it didn't really end up being this big thing, so they built it up with no real payoff.
It was kind of misleading.
Yeah, I mean, Halo 5 is probably the only campaign that I haven't gone back to. 'Cause I've played through pretty much every other game, I think, multiple times. At least 2 times, maybe on some of them, but...
Same here. Halo 5, one time the campaign, and I mean, some of the missions with Master Chief were great, but the rest, it was weird because there's 10 missions on Halo 5 at least.
Yeah, something like that. Honestly, I don't remember most of it, to be completely honest.
Right, and only 2 or 3 have the Master Chief. I'm like, I thought this is all about the Master Chief and what's going on with the universe and Cortana. Anyway, I thought the ending was great. The cliffhanger was superb, but the campaign, yeah, it was not all that great. So, all right. What are some of your favorite games, by the way?
I tend to go more towards, at least as far as what I would call my favorites would probably be RPGs. So I'm a big fan of the Mass Effect series.
Okay.
I just recently finished Mass Effect Andromeda. While it's not the best in the series, I think it pays off well in the end, even despite all of its issues.
Okay.
When it came out. So.
Aren't they making a movie, Mass Effect, or did I hear that?
I mean, there's been rumors about that for a long time, but none of them have ever come to fruition.
Okay.
So I mean, they have a lot of books of the series, and the books, for the most part, there's a couple that aren't great, but for like the first few books were all really good and tied to the universe great.
Yeah. I remember playing the first one, Mass Effect, and I think I got the music of the soundtrack somewhere, and I thought the soundtrack was great also. It's kind of like one of those games,
Definitely.
it's going to be good. Yeah, you like the first Halo and the great story and the music, and Mass Effect I think fits the same way, right?
Yeah, it's a really good like sci-fi, like big picture, epic kind of thing that's going on, and I think it's very similar to Halo in that sense, while it's very different in the choices you make in the actual character build and stuff like that. So
Right. Yeah, it would make sense to make a Mass Effect movie. Of course, I thought 10 years ago it made sense to make a Halo movie. They started it, then they stopped, and there was rumors and back and forth. I guess too much politics, huh?
yeah, it was a politic thing, and maybe it's for the best. Most video game movies aren't good, so
I have noticed that. I mean, have any been good? Maybe the first Resident Evil?
Yeah, I would say the first Resident Evil was a pretty decent movie. I mean, it's not the greatest, but it's not terrible either.
Yeah.
I would even say, as far as going with the lore of the game, the first Mortal Kombat movie was fun. and it very much captured the game in all its glory. I mean, no one would call it a great movie, but it's a good like popcorn action movie.
Yeah, I think I remember that. I remember the movie Doom with The Rock, you know.
Yeah.
And I thought, are you kidding me? I mean, the game was so much better.
Yeah.
And then they made the movie. It's like, but you're right. That didn't work out. Need for Speed movie didn't work out. That was kind of disappointing. Somehow the quality of the translation gets lost.
Yeah, I think there's a disconnect. I think what it comes down to is the people that work on the games don't necessarily work on the movies. They hire somebody from Hollywood to make a script, and maybe that person just isn't as knowledgeable about the series or know exactly what gamers are looking for when it translates. So it doesn't. I don't think it just works out well.
Well, if they would have just copied the story of the game, if it probably would have worked. Just keep it simple.
In some cases, yeah, I definitely agree. But it's hard to adapt that too, because a game is going to be several hours, where a movie has to be, an hour and a half to 2.5 hours. So they kind of have to pick and choose what to put in and what to cut. But I mean, it's definitely doable. They just need to find someone that can do it well. And
it can be done. Well, I suppose a whole campaign of a game is more like 9 to 10 hours probably. That depends on the game.
Mm-hmm.
But there's probably 1 to 2 hours of a core story. And then they kind of like draw it out or like stretch it out.
Yeah, depending on the game. Yeah.
Right. I remember the first Halo game, playing that on an outdated PC back in 2005, a single core machine. I have to tell you, I had to crank down the resolution because my computer couldn't handle it, and watching the aliens and the flood move at you in slow motion, kind of like ballet dancing, was kind of silly. But the first Halo, and reading, I believe that game was based on the novel Halo: The Fall of Reach, which is a great book also.
Well, it was actually the first game was the novels came after the game came out.
I see.
But the first book, The Fall of Reach, was actually the inspiration for Reach, for Halo Reach.
Okay.
Whereas the book Halo: The Flood is actually the first Halo game.
Okay. I think, God, I've read so many novels. All I remember is I liked reading Halo: The Fall of Reach, and that's a good story.
It's a good book.
So if they just copy the book to a movie, that would work.
Yeah, that was a really good book.
Yeah, so they've done a few things on HBO with Halo and online and stuff. Not bad, considering a small budget.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I liked some of that stuff a lot, actually. Yeah,
remember on the Halo 5 launch, there was a little miniseries directed, I think, by Ridley Scott, who's releasing Alien Covenant next month. Halo Nightfall. It had its moments.
Yeah, I like Nightfall. I mean, and I like the end, and it showed how the Master Chief could be incorporated into a movie like that. And it had some cool moments, especially for something that was low budget, at least as far as Hollywood standards go.
Right. I mean, and they give us like little snippets of what could be Hollywood style and all this, but for some reason, like the deals or whatever just falls through it, and it's kind of disappointing after 10 years.
Well, originally, I'm pretty sure they wanted Neil Blomkamp, who did District 9, to do the Halo movie, but this was before District 9.
Yes.
So he was still a new director, and basically whoever was behind putting the money up front for it didn't want to do it. Yeah. But he put together this awesome demo for what a Halo movie would have been, and it was cool. And a lot of the stuff you see in District 9 is what he used in that, and that movie was really cool as far as the special effects with the aliens and stuff like that. And
that was an acclaimed movie by the critics and the fans, if I recall.
It was, that's why it's very disappointing almost that he didn't get the chance to do a Halo movie.
Well, I guess there's always hope for the future, but yeah, you would think of such a worldwide fan base for Halo. This is a no-brainer. But that's just me, Trevor. So yeah. Well, let's see. What else do I have here? I want to talk. Okay, here we go. Gaming, PC versus consoles. What do you think?
I think it just depends on what you like to do. I mean, it's very dependent on how you want to play. I mean, I personally just want to sit back and relax on a couch or something with a controller and play a video game. But I mean, I can play PC games, and I have a bunch of PC games, but it's not my preferred play. But there are people that prefer to have a keyboard and mouse, whether it be because they have more precision in like a shooting game, or that's just how they like to play games, or they have a powerful PC that can make it look better, that sort of thing.
So it sounds like you're more into the quality of the game and the story, and you don't need a souped up PC to play your games, right?
No, yeah, I'm not really much I don't care so much for the graphics or the power. I mean, it's awesome when something looks really cool.
Yes.
Like I will say that, but that's not the be all end all for me, because I mean, something can look really good, and if it has terrible gameplay or a terrible story, it's not gonna be fun to play.
So you pretty much are an Xbox type of person, right?
Yeah, I play games on Xbox, PlayStation 4, and now the Nintendo Switch.
Oh, okay, all right. I've seen. We were talking about Halo. I've seen some bits and pieces of news about Halo 6. It appears that the game will not be released this year, which is a little bit surprising. You would think, considering somewhat of the disappointment of Halo 5, at least the campaign, they would want to correct it, correct the course of the game as soon as possible. But I don't know if you read something else, but it looks like Halo 6 is due out. We might get a teaser this year, but it looks like Halo 6 is next year. Is that what you've been hearing or reading, or?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised Halo 6 isn't going to come out this year.
Okay.
It makes sense to kind of give the team more time, especially if they want to do a better job of it than what they did with Halo 5. And make a better encompassing package. I mean, they're still supporting Halo 5 if you're into the multiplayer. But I've heard rumors, I don't know whether there's any truth to them, that maybe they might do a remaster of Halo 3 this year, which would follow kind of what they were doing the past few years with they had the Halo 4, and then they did the Master Chief Collection, which had the Halo 2 remake, remaster in it, and then they did Halo 5. So that, I mean, it sounds kind of how they were going with it.
Yeah. Well, the Halo 2 remaster anniversary, I thought looked freaking terrific. That was part of the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah.
And Halo 2 remaster, I thought, and then they added some extra cutscenes, but it looks terrific. I think they added some sound effects, but it's amazing what 10 years can do in technology and graphics. It's amazing. But I thought they did a really good job with both the first Halo Anniversary Edition, which came out in 2011, I think, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
But a Halo 2 remaster is really, that's probably, barring the first one, except the first, because the first one's always special, but Halo 2 might be my favorite. I just love this storyline and the music. And some of the silliness of the dialogue, with the grunts and everything. I kind of still remember that, although Halo 3 also was a great story. But I remember Halo ODST and the firefight mode, which is great.
Yeah.
So that needs to come back. So.
Yeah, I wish they would do a better because they have the Warzone firefight mode in Halo 5 now. It's not quite the same.
No, it's not.
No. I would really like a traditional firefight mode to come back.
Yes.
So hopefully Halo 6 will give that back to us.
Right. I totally agree. Let's see here. We've talked about this briefly when we were having coffee, but what do you think is the future of gaming? I'm more of a physical CD type of guy, have something to collect. I guess that's not what's happening now. And we talked about the future of GameStop. Could that be a viable company? But I guess those are two questions in one. But what is the future of gaming, and can GameStop survive?
Well, I definitely think that the future is going digital. I mean, if you look at PC gaming, it's pretty much all digital.
Yeah.
At this point, there's very few physical releases released on an actual disc. If you go into a store to buy a game on PC, generally it just has a code in the box that you put into Steam, and then you download it on Steam.
Right.
So I think we're going to see that as as internet connections get better, as internet gets more prevalent, I mean, there's always going to be physical, at least for a little while, because there are some areas of the country where internet connections are still terrible.
Right.
So you're going to need those physical copies out there, and that's where physical media will do well.
Right.
But in places where internet's good and you can download stuff, I think digital game. I mean, it's just nice because now they have it to where you can preload the games. So the weekend before the game's out, you can have it installed, and then the time 12:01 comes Tuesday at midnight, you can just start playing. So I know a lot of people like that. They don't have to leave the house, that sort of thing. It's a convenience thing, I think. I personally do more digital than I do physical. The plus side to physical is you do get a lot more sales on used games and games in general, which I think will help a store like GameStop survive for the time being. But as their market share gets less and less as far as the new releases, I think they'll have to switch their business model around a little bit. You can see them doing that now because they purchased ThinkGeek a couple years ago. And if you go into their stores, a major part of their store are collectible items like figures and toys and stuff, because a lot of that stuff has a high markup.
Yeah.
So they're making a lot of profit off of that sort of thing. And that's the kind of stuff that people are going to go into a store and buy and not necessarily do it. But, Amazon has that stuff too. So
True.
It's, it just depends on.
Well,
GameStop's not going to be dead in the next couple years, but will it be around in 5-10 years? I don't know.
So you think, it sounds like it's pretty much going to be digital downloads, but they'll always, not always, but for the foreseeable future, the convenience of walking into a store, for those who want to buy a CD or a game on a disc or trade in and buy a little extra something for the kids or whatever, you think it's more a matter of convenience and the excitement of going in to buy something physical with your kid or whatever.
Yeah, and for those hardcore collectors too, that's why you see a lot more collector's editions of games, because they're trying to draw people into the store to get people to spend more money.
Right.
To try to offset the cost there.
Right.
That's definitely part of that. But last year, 74% of sales were digital.
74%.
74%, yeah.
Wow.
So, at least that's according to the latest figures that just came out probably about a week ago. So,
I did not think it was that high. So, when was the last time?
In all honesty.
Okay. Okay. When was the last time you bought a physical game, like on a disc?
Oh, I bought one recently.
Okay.
Yeah, I bought one. Like I bought some of my Switch games, but that's because it has a lower capacity hard drive. So I wanted to have them on a cartridge, so I didn't have to worry about that. I mean, I have an SD card in there for that, but it's still not huge. So any room I can not take up with that. But I buy discs too, because if they're on sale. And like Amazon Prime, within the first 2 weeks of a game coming out, they give you 20% off.
Okay.
So, and they don't do it on the digital version; it's only on the physical. So I've bought games that way too, just because it's more of a cost thing. But if it wasn't a cost factor, then I would just do everything digital. So
it sounds like you have no problem buying games on a physical disc, right?
No. I just prefer digital. Just because at this point, I have a closet full of DVDs and stuff that are just lying around collecting stuff. I just don't want to sit with a bunch of stuff anymore.
Right. It does add up. I mean, even here with my collection, it's not that extensive, but I don't. Maybe I'm just old fashioned. I just like having a physical disc. But I guess if you're into it, the amount of discs, physical discs piling up can add up. So, who would be so really, as far as the competitors out there, would be what? Amazon, Best Buy, GameStop.
Yeah, I would say Amazon, Best Buy, GameStop, Walmart are probably the biggest ones. Possibly Target, I would say.
Right.
Yeah, Target's probably up there. I mean, around here we don't really have a Target close by, so
Right.
it's not really
Okay.
an option here.
Right.
But yeah, those are definitely the bigger ones for sure.
Okay.
I mean, GameStop I would say makes up most of that market.
Right.
I
Right.
would say closely behind them would be Best Buy and Walmart.
Yeah.
So
Well, let me ask you this: what future games are you looking forward to?
there's there's a lot. The new Lord of the Rings game coming out
Mm.
looks really cool. But there's a lot that just hasn't been announced yet. So we got E3 coming up in a couple months,
Yeah.
and that's when we'll really get a good picture of what's coming out at the end of the year. Because honestly, this year we've seen a ton of great games at the beginning of the year, so it's been actually a little bit hard to keep up.
The last Call of Duty game, I didn't get it. What was that called? It was kind of like,
Infinite Warfare.
okay. And if I recall, it kind of reminded me of Halo. Was that the one? It was in space or something?
Yeah, they did some space stuff with it. The campaign of it was actually really good.
Okay, so you have it. Okay.
Yeah, I have it. I got a copy. My buddy Kent actually is a programmer on that game, so
Oh, cool.
so
Cool.
I got a copy through him.
So I know there was some backlash. Why are they going in space to make it like Halo? But if the story's good, then who cares, right?
Yeah, I thought like they did a really good job with the campaign. The campaign was just really fun.
Okay.
Which I think it was probably the best campaign they've done in a while for that game series. And
Wow.
they just actually announced that it's going back to World War II
Mm.
this year, which I'm actually pretty happy about because I've been
Yeah.
wanting to play a World War II Call of
Why?
Duty again.
Why are they doing that, Trevor?
I think the fan base wants it.
Oh.
For a long time, the fan base wanted it to be modern and stuff, but I think we're now getting to that. Plus, they make a new Call of Duty every year, so they can make.
True.
They have 3 different studios working on it with a 3-year cycle of each
Okay.
studio developing it, so they can have different studios work on different types of Call of Duty. So this year they'll have a World War II one. Next year they can still do a future one.
True.
And make those people happy too. So.
Well, let me ask you. Don't spoil it, but the last one, Infinite Warfare, right? Did that end in a cliffhanger, or not?
No, it didn't.
Oh, that's interesting. You would think if they wanted to continue that space theme, they would have a cliffhanger. Okay. I just thought I'd ask. But that's how I would write the story, because of course at Halo 5 it does end with a cliffhanger, with Cortana doing her thing. But
yeah, I mean Halo's more of a serialized thing, whereas Call of Duty,
true.
some of them follow each other, like Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, or Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3.
Right.
Like those have similar threads, but at least in recent years they've all been pretty different.
Okay.
Oh.
What are you playing now? Anything particular, or?
Well, like I said, I just finished Mass Effect Andromeda.
Okay.
And honestly, I'm debating on what to start next.
Okay.
To be completely
All right.
honest, just a lot of good games came out
Yeah.
at the beginning of this year, and I'm debating between Horizon Zero Dawn for PlayStation 4, Persona 5, and Nier Automata, which are all PS4 games. So.
Cool, man. I don't know what I'm going to buy next. I may just go into the local, GameStop and maybe pick something used that I haven't played, in the past, and just maybe one of these nights, when it's raining outside or cold like tonight, and I'm not talking to a friend or anything, just pop a game in, check the used bins for Xbox One games and just go with that, just something, to kill time with. So
Yeah.
Okay, Trevor, do you want to add anything else before we wrap this up?
Trying to think of anything else like really going on in the gaming world. We're kind of in like a little bit of a lull period at the moment.
Right.
Because E3 will be in June, and that's when all the big gaming news and everything. I would like to say that I think the Nintendo Switch is a lot cooler and a lot better than I think a lot of people thought it was going to be.
Okay.
And it's doing extremely well.
Okay. Cool.
So that's good for Nintendo.
So what's okay? Well, let me ask you quick. What's so cool about it?
The fact that it's both portable and a home console.
Ah,
So they basically took, both kinds of systems because they're known for having their handheld and their home console and made it into one. So you can just pick it up and go,
hmm,
and play anywhere,
interesting.
literally.
And you totally agree with that concept.
Yeah, it's an awesome
Okay,
concept. I mean,
cool. Okay,
it's really cool. It's really easy to just like take on the go if and that sort of thing. They did a really good job with it,
cool.
and as long as they do a good job of getting games on the system to support that,
Okay,
I think they'll do well. They'll do
okay.
better than they did with the Wii U for sure.
You remember before we wrap this up? You remember when the Nintendo was it back in 2005 and the handheld controllers? I guess the first ones they didn't have straps on them, so the people were throwing their controllers
Yeah,
at the
yeah, that
TVs.
that was yeah that was the first Nintendo Wii.
The
Yeah,
first Nintendo Wii, and I
yeah,
thought, well, duh, what were they thinking, right?
right.
I remember when that thing hit. It was new, it was different. It was such a big hit. But
Yeah, it was, and then
yeah,
after that, they followed up with the Wii U, and their marketing message just wasn't good for it.
they
Uh,
started great, but then they kind of fizzled. Yeah.
well, people didn't understand that the Wii U was a new console as
Mm,
compared to the Wii. They thought it was just an add-on to the Wii at first, and they just didn't get enough developers on board to support it, and that's
mm,
kind of what hurt the Wii U.
I see.
So
So you think the Switch, that's the new thing, and that's how it should be, the Nintendo Switch.
yeah, it's a really cool system. And Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild is
Mm,
amazing.
cool.
It's
Okay.
one of the best games out there.
Wow.
They did a good job of taking what was good about Zelda and making it modern.
So you're into in-depth storylines, aren't you?
A lot of times, but Zelda doesn't really have one.
Okay.
But it has really good gameplay. So
Okay.
sometimes you don't need an in-depth story. Sometimes you can have really good gameplay. You know,
Okay.
so it depends on the game.
Right.
Depends on my mood too. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I always like a good story, when buying it. When buying Halo 5, I was expecting a good story and
Mhm.
it wasn't, so I kind of felt cheated in it. I mean, the multiplayer is fine.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm just a rare type. I'm more into the campaign than the multiplayer because I just look. Who doesn't like a good movie with a good story or a good
Yeah, I
book?
mean, for
Yeah.
the most part, I'm the same way. I play the campaigns more than I play the multiplayer on a lot of games.
Mm,
Halo 5 is probably the exception to that,
yeah.
where me and friends have played it,
Yeah.
off and on since it came out.
Right.
And there's a few games where I really like multiplayer. Like Overwatch is a really good multiplayer game.
Okay.
It's only multiplayer, so
Ah.
there's no real choice there. But there are certain games that I can get into the multiplayer a lot. But for the most part, I'm more of a campaign guy. Like Call of Duty last year, I didn't really play much of the multiplayer.
Okay.
So, but I like the campaign a lot. So
Yeah. I think I might. I might. I was thinking about picking up. What's the game before Infinite Warfare? Call of Duty. They had the famous actor. He plays the bad guy.
I
What's
think
his
it was Advanced Warfare.
That's it with Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey.
I
Yeah.
heard that was a good story too. So
hmm
maybe I'll pick up that one since I've never played it.
Yeah, that one was pretty good.
It
Yeah,
was
that one had
okay.
a pretty good campaign. Yeah.
All right. I might check it out because that would be new for me. So because I haven't played it. So okay. Well, Trevor, this is fun. Let's do it again. My friend Trevor, a master gamer who was born with an Atari console next to this crib. That's what he says. I would not be surprised either. Check out Trevor's podcasts. You're still
Yeah,
doing those, right? Yeah.
yeah, I do a few. I'm gonna be starting more. So just check out spiderduck.net.
Okay.
Has all my stuff on there. I'm working on one, the Daily Diatribe, which I'm trying to find out what I want to do with that. I think I'm
Okay.
going to take it down to a couple episodes a week instead of being daily.
Okay.
But other than that, I mean, I'm working on trying to get a comic book one going with some friends,
Okay.
and a regular dedicated gaming one.
Cool.
Uh, so
Are you posting these on YouTube or is it
the Daily Diatribe I'm posting on YouTube.
Okay.
The other ones I'll probably end up posting on YouTube,
Okay.
because it seems like it's a
All right, guys, that was pretty much the end of the podcast, the Gamers Podcast. What'd you think? I think we kind of both agreed on Halo. It's kind of lost its way. Halo 4 had a great story, very bad, lackluster multiplayer. Halo 5, it was reversed. The story was kind of a ripoff. The preview, the commercials, That was not reflected in the story in Halo 5. That was probably the biggest news for Halo 5, a disappointment. Multiplayer was solid. And I thought Halo 5, without spoiling it, had an excellent cliffhanger of an ending. But yeah. You enjoyed it? Okay, Anna. Thank you. Yeah, we've only done that one. We may do another one. Thanks, Joe. It was interesting. Yeah, it's the future of Halo and the future of gaming. Tell Mike I need to get back on the Xbox more. Well, he goes fishing. It's summertime, so he's doing fishing. He likes to fish. The complete opposite of me, Joey. I don't fish at all. It's just one of those things. So, anyway, I ask good questions. Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's I haven't been to a GameStop in a while, but I think I may take a look. At the used bin. Fish boring. Fish eating, not boring, Anna. Fish boring. Just to go fishing. Fishing boring, yes. It's not for me. But eat fish, absolutely. I like fish. I like calamari. Tilapia, I think it's called. Halleck, I think it's called. Something like that. But to go fishing, to catch fish, Anna, it's not for me. Fish catching, yeah. Anyway. Salmon, yeah. I like salmon. I like my squid sauteed, my calamari sauteed. Not sauteed. GameStop always seems kind of blah. Why is it blah, Joe? Zuppa minestrone, fat elvis, alla zuppa. Very good. Try some BC salmon. Yummy. Seems like, Joe, around the holidays, GameStop is always freaking busy. I used to remember waiting in line to catch the latest release. I mean, it'd be packed, but anyway, don't do that anymore. Stay away from tilapia. Okay, why? The company is done. No more Shack. They went bankrupt. Gotta go, Lance. Bye-bye. Thanks for stopping by. I am Italiano, si. Very good. Paisano. Yeah, Italians can make fish in many different ways. Yes. Calamari I've tried fried. I've tried sauteed. Calamari is another 20 minutes till your birthday, Ben. Okay. You want us to sing it again? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Birthday, dear Joe. Happy birthday to you. Dear Ben, not Joe. Anyway. Portuguese, Anna. Okay. Very good. Any Portuguese dishes? Specialty dishes? Garbage fish is not healthy. Oh. Uh-oh. I'll have to Google it sometime. Now you got me interested. Sardines, alici salati, and mackerel. Yep. I like sardines. Coatfish. Coatfish. That's interesting. Huh. Never heard of it. Coatfish. Hi, Colin. Bye, Colin. Thanks for stopping by. Always a joy having you on and chatting. It was fun last night, too. Were you on last night? I think you were. Anyway, Portuguese squid is excellent. Very good. Oh, it's run down. Yeah. Well, it seems like a lot of malls are that way. Joe, yeah. Guys are making... Ben is now hungry. Since it's Ben's birthday, everybody can buy Ben a nice big dish of squid, of calamari. Ma sardine. Ah, yes. We say alici salati. Salata. Salted sardines. Welcome to the food podcast here, but that's cool. I'm just chilling. Nice, comfortable night here in Ohio. Low humidity. Very relaxing. Very relaxing. Buys me beer. Joe, be back. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, Big Daddy usually does his live stream Friday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern New York time. I was on last night, but he got on late. And it was fun. Yeah. I wouldn't mind doing a live event, or not a live, but a news nonsense with Big Daddy Linux. Anna Rita in your pajamas. Okay. It was hot. It was. I wasn't. I was cutting grass today. It was a little hot. Back on tomorrow night. Spin Viking, I don't know. Just you have the. Make sure you click on the notification bell on my channel if I decide to jump on. So Spin, I don't know. But yeah, just make sure you receive notifications and you'll know. If I jump on, it'll probably be about this time. 30 degrees Celsius, that is hot, Anna Rita. Yes. That is very hot. That's close. That is what, 90 degrees Fahrenheit? Yeah, man, we can probably get together doing news and nonsense. Sure. I have no problem doing that with you. Sure. We'll have to pick a date. Day and time. What time zone are you in, man? Where you live at? Yeah, we haven't, Anna. We have not had a heat wave here yet in Ohio. But not yet. Ohio Spin Viking. Yeah, I mean Eastern time. But sometimes I'll say New York time, but I'm in Ohio, so it's currently 11:42 p.m. It's also Eastern time for you, Ben. Okay, cool. All right, I'll let you know. Right. Yep. Same time here. Yeah. It was so hot that even naked hot. Yeah, when you push 90 or towards 100 degrees, Anna Rita, that's yeah. Even if you're, stripped down naked, as it were, especially if it gets humid, that is hot. The heat wave is coming to Wisconsin. Okay. $5 fill up. Are you at a gas station? Okay, yeah, we can do a Hangouts if you want to do a live thing, man. Sure. I'll let you know. Yeah, there's been a lot of news about wildfires lately, it seems. It seems like every year there's something going. It's so bad. I guess people being careless. Yeah, Joe. Yeah, I remember the summers in Florida being very humid and very hot in the summer. Gas expensive there, Anna? Okay. Well, theirs would be by liter, right, instead of a gallon. Portugal fires, yeah. Yeah, here it's usually we have issues with fires out west, towards California. Boy, it seems like every year there's a problem. It's a shame. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. BC, British Columbia. California seems like it always has fires there, Joey. Yeah. Um, haven't been out there in a while, but I was out there once in San Bernardino, and that was hot in the summer. Oh, pine trees. Oh, okay, Anna. Like dried out pine trees, and they just catch on fire from no rain, maybe. California has oranges. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Sometimes people spontaneous combust. Fat Elvis, I've heard of that, but I don't know how true that is. Um, you got church 9 a.m. passing out. Okay, Ben, if you need to go, thanks for stopping by. It's all good. The Icon 2020. Hey, you know who's in the house now? Yes, everybody on this chat is in the house now. Icon, what's up? I do not play Rainbow Six Siege. I believe the other night I stopped at my friend's house, and I believe his son was playing that game. Kind of remind me of Call of Duty. Good night, Ben. I'll catch you next time. Yep. But I do not play Rainbow Six, no. Good night, Joe. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, I'm probably going to sign off here soon. Yeah. Yeah, it's almost midnight, so should be a nice me Icon 2020 me. Okay, man. Yes, happy birthday to Ben. How what? SimCity 5. Interesting. Anybody use Cubzilla browser? It's been a while since I've used this. SimCity 5. Let's see. Best console game. Let's take a look at this real quick. Let's see. Sony PlayStation Super Slim. That's interesting. The Legend of Zelda, 8.4 rating. The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Persona 5, Mario Kart, interesting. Final Fantasy, somebody mentioned Final Fantasy. Bayonetta, Horizon. What Remains of Edith Finch? I never heard of that. Night in the Woods. That's interesting. Dirt 4. Galactic Civilizations. 6.7 score. Yeah, 30 Final Fantasies, yeah. Final Fantasy X, that's 12, isn't it? Yeah, the Zodiac Age. I don't think I ever. Maybe I did play Final Fantasy once. They're all bad games, really. Yeah, I don't recall. I don't. Maybe I did play it once. I can't remember. Planescape Torment. Okay. Hatsune Miku. Future tone, future sound. I don't know what that is. World of Goo. Sexy Brutal. Okay. Resident Evil 7. I think the first couple were really good. Let's see here. Prey. Wasn't that released like years ago? Prey? Prey? I don't know. Maybe it's a redo or something. Torment. Tides of Numenera. Everspace. Civilization 5 is good? Okay. I haven't played that. Halo Wars Definitive Edition. I think I got that. It wasn't too bad. What's Fiera? I don't know what that is. Fieria. Crash Bandicoot. Stories Untold. Well, tell a story. I think they're working on a new Need for Speed. I've always liked the Need for Speed games. I remember playing Need for Speed back in. Okay, so the new one is called Payback. Good title. I remember playing Need for Speed back in around '98 on a PC, and I remember one of the most ridiculous things. You know, you're being chased by the police, right? And of course, in the course of playing the game, you would wipe out a bunch of police cars. And of course, you get careless and you get caught. And so the cop would come over after you wasted a bunch of police cars. The cop would come over, and instead of taking you in jail, the cop would say, "You're lucky I'm in a good mood. I'm only going to give you a ticket this time," after wiping out all these cars. It was so ridiculous, it was good. It was funny. I don't know how I remember that all these years later, but yeah. Yeah, Need for Speed. I think most of them are okay. I mean, the movie I didn't care for. Forza Horizon. I've played Forza before. It's not bad. Yeah. I just didn't care for the Need for Speed movie. Let's see. It's, yeah, also known as NFS. Selling over 150 million copies of the game. Wow. Yeah, this was the film adaptation. 2014, that's when it comes out, yeah. Oh, that's when it came out. The movie made that much, $203 million? Wow. Okay. Yeah, Need for Speed received generally negative reviews. 23%. Yeah, in fact, I don't think I even watched the whole thing. I just didn't like it. Stock characters, preposterous plot. um, yeah. A Need for Speed sequel to be filmed, to be shot in film in China. Okay. Oh, Need for Speed, we're gonna break your wonton. Anyway, that's enough of that. So, a couple more minutes, guys. I'm gonna call it a night. My favorite gun on Halo. My favorite gun is the rocket launcher. Good night, Spin Viking. Need to go, wife calling, go to bed, and okay, have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. What do I think of guns, like real guns? I don't have one. I've shot them before, but I don't personally have one. Real weapons, I don't have one. Yeah. I like watching, sometimes I'll watch History Channel or something like that about the future of weaponry. Um, you know, guns like that. I think that's kind of cool to watch. Interesting. Um, yeah, I think he is. He mentioned it. Yeah. Yeah, he mentioned it, I think, last week. I forget what he said, but yeah, I think so. He's thinking about it, yeah. Alright, guys, that's all I have for this one. I think I'm going to call it a night. Had a good day today. Worked up a good sweat cutting grass and all that, so I think I'll call it a night. I may jump on tomorrow night. I don't know yet. But if you haven't already, just click on the notification bell on the channel, and that'll let you know when I jump on. So if I do jump on tomorrow night, I'm not sure what the topic will be. Anyway, yes, MC Strap, thank you. Have a good night to all. Thank you for stopping by. It's always a joy doing these and chatting with you and chilling out on a nice, comfortable summer night. That's all I have for this one, and guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Yes, Fadel was buona sera. Good evening, good night. Take care.